Hi guys, it's Kirby. Welcome to my channel. We are doing a makeup video. It's been a minute since I've filmed. If you hear my washer, I'm so sorry. It's pretty loud, but your girl needs clean clothes. So, I have already done my foundation, eyebrows, eyeshadow, lips. Today we are talking about color correctors, under eye brighteners. I wanted to face off Rose against Melon, which is like pink versus peach on my fair skin, because I've been watching Rose and Ben on Instagram, and she is like light to medium complexion, but she always uses like a melon or like a peachy color corrector. I am fair to light, and I always use like a pink color corrector under eye brightener, but I wanted to see what the difference was between the two on like my fair complexion, just to see if there was a difference, to see if maybe one was better than the other. Today's under eye brightener color correctors that we are using are from MELON. They are the under eye brightener Conceal and Perfect 01 Rose, 02 Melon. I think they have two other colors for darker complexions. Color correcting is just like any other complexion product out there. You do have to color match them to your complexion. For darker skin tones, you can use darker color correctors. For fair skin tones, you have to use like crazy pastelized color correctors. That's why that like trend a long time ago where you can like put the red lipstick underneath your eyes, or like orange lipstick underneath your eyes, made a lot of sense for like medium to dark complexions, but it did not make a lot of sense for like fair skin tones, you know? So yeah. That's what we're doing. The foundation that I used today is actually the MELON Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation, keeping it all in the same brand family. So just like my dupes videos, we are going to try these side by side. I am going to use the Rose on this side and the Peach on this side just to see how they look against each other. We're also going to be blending them out with the Real Techniques correcting brush. These are like a dense kind of stippling brush-ish, but they're the exact same brush. They're my favorite to like blend out concealers and things like that. Little bit about these is that the applicator is like a squeezy puff so that you can just kind of put it on your face. I'm not crazy about these applicators because like these puffs never dry down, and it's always really difficult to get the products out. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't like these applicators, but that's not here nor there. We're not talking about the applicators. We're talking about the product. First, we're going to dot on one side and then blend it out, and then dot on the other side and blend it out. And this is simply just because I don't want to have one side dry down while I'm trying to apply the other. I'm not familiar with these under eye products, so I don't know kind of how they dry down, how quickly you have to blend them out, and things like that. So just putting that out there as well. While we're letting those dry down a little bit, I will say the consistency of the formula is very, very thin, and I thought that they were going to be a lot more pigmented than they actually are. I can already tell that the Rose, the light pink, is going to be much better on my complexion than the Melon. Not to say that the Melon did not color correct very, very well. It's just that in person, and I don't think that the camera is picking this up very well, in person, it's making my under eyes actually appear very dark, and I don't know if that's going to change once we put concealer over top of it, because I feel like the Rose isn't giving as much color correction as the Melon side is, but the Rose is looking brighter underneath my eyes than the Melon is. And again, I don't know, I'm trying to look at my screen to like see, and right now, my screen is looking like the Melon is winning, but in person, I can tell you it is not. It kind of looks like I'm I have like a black eye. So I'm wondering if maybe that will change once we actually put the concealer on top of it. But I was very surprised about the consistency of this product. I thought it was going to be a lot more pigmented and maybe like a little bit thicker. But it's actually quite a thin formula, and I don't feel like the pigment is there, especially for the rose. But that's just my opinion. I mean, I know you wear this underneath concealer and things like that. I feel like this would be a very good option for if you're not wearing any makeup. Sometimes I don't want to wear makeup, but like my dark circles are a little too bad, so I'll just put like a little corrector on the dark parts, and I feel like the consistency of this is very much that, where it's like very thin and something that you can just kind of quickly throw on to kind of like zhuzh up your under eyes, you know? Alright, so let me put some concealer over top and see where we're at. Alright, the concealer that we're using today is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear. I'm using Oatmeal 345, which is slightly light for my skin because that's how I like to wear my concealers underneath my eyes. I know there's controversy about wearing lighter concealer underneath the eyes, but that's how I like to wear my makeup. You wear your concealer however you want to wear your concealer. So we're just going to dot this and then use a sponge and blend it out. I'm going to set with some powder really quickly. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Powder Foundation with like a small angled concealer brush just to get like right underneath my eyes. Before we go off and finish the rest of the face, I don't know. I have like thoughts and feelings about both sides. I feel like underneath my eyes on the melon side, once it's all like put the concealer on and set, it is closer to my actual complexion color. However, the rose side is much more brighter underneath my eyes, and I feel like that makes me look more awake. I feel like it kind of like perks my face up a little bit more, but this side is closer to my actual complexion side, but this side is brighter. This melon, this is pink. Pink is brighter, melon is closer to my complexion side, so I'm a little torn. I feel like neither side made the hollows of my under eyes look any better or worse than before. I know especially Rose and Ben and other makeup artists and things like that say that like when you pick products that are closer to your complexion color, it fixes the hollows, or like it makes that kind of like hollowness disappear. I've never found that to be the case, and that's just personal experience, and maybe I'm just not picking the right products. But I feel like both sides look nice from far away, but this side just looks brighter and more lifted to me, and this side just looks more complexion to me. Alright, we're gonna finish the rest of the face and come back for some final thoughts. Face is done, blush, highlight, contour, bronzish, put on, lashes, all that jazz, put on and finished. What do we think? So this side was the melon and this side was the rose. I have thoughts and feelings. On the melon side, let's start with that. I don't feel like it's dark. I do feel like it helped to match my actual complexion versus brightening, which is really, really nice if I'm looking for less of like a statement brighter under eye. The melon definitely helps to like match my complexion a little bit more perfect. As well as I do notice on the outside of my eye, you don't notice the hollow of my under eye circles as much as on the other side with the rose. That being said, I don't feel like the melon actually did a very good job of like color correcting in the middle or in the front, in the inner corner, inner part. Yeah, I feel like it's also just darker, and I'm not opposed to that. I think it's just different than what I'm used to, but it does look nice from like far away. It's just not as bright and lifting as I'm used to. The rose side. Definitely a lot brighter, definitely a little bit more lifted, definitely makes my eyes look a little bit more awake. The downside is that I feel like you do kind of tell a little bit more of a hollowness in my eye on the outer corner, but I do feel like it has a better brightening, color correcting effect on the inner corner of my eye. And that's usually how I like to wear my makeup, even if it is like simple glam or simple makeup. I do like a brighter under eye. In general. I do tend to pick products that lean a little bit more yellow because I do feel like underneath my eyes is a little bit more on like the reddish brown than like actual blue or purple. I do have veins that need correcting, but ultimately when I'm using a brightener, I'll mix it with my concealer and or I'll use like a yellowish concealer to correct some of the like more redness underneath my eyes. But yeah, ultimately, I don't know. I feel like they both look very, very nice. Like I'm trying to look in the mirror and the monitor. And I don't feel like I pick one side over the other. Maybe you guys feel differently. My skin and my under eyes are extremely dehydrated, so there is a lot of like creasing and creping, which is like chef's kiss for myself, my self-esteem, but that's okay. No worries about that. We just put on bigger lashes to distract. But yeah, you let me know what you think in the comment section below. I will link these down in the description box below so you can check them out on your own time. Maybe they're not necessarily supposed to be like correctors. They're just really supposed to be like brightening. And if that's the case, I'm definitely picking the Rose for my like lighter complexion versus the Melon. But I do see how the Melon for like true medium skin tones like would be much better versus for fair, you'll want Rose. But yeah. That's the video. I will link those down in the description box below so you can check them out on your own time. If you found this video helpful or you enjoyed watching it, please give it a big old thumbs up. As always, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the little notification bell. I would hate for you to miss out on any more videos. Thanks so much for watching, guys.